Hold up. Wait a minute. I wish you love, peace, and hair grease.
Love, peace, and hair grease, y'all.
Yeah, you know the one shooting straight from the hip.
This is Carla Renata, aka the Curvy Critic, and I shoot straight from the hip.
Yeah, you know the one shooting straight from the hip.
Y'all, I am having gremlins for days. I just been talking for the last 20 minutes, thinking that I was live and I was not. But anywho, I am Carla Renata, and you have tuned into the Curvy Critic with Carla Renata, and it is streaming live via LinkedIn, Twitter, and YouTube. If you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do so. Give me a big thumbs up to let me know that you were here. And I appreciate you always watching, whether you're here in real time or not. So let's get right into it. I usually go into what I did the week before, but guess what, y'all? It is a new year and it is a new me, and I'm trying to do better. So I actually have Around the Curve ready for y'all. Are you ready? Let's take a trip around the curve. Let's take a trip around the curve. 3 days after Andrea Riseborough's Oscar nominations, questions have arisen about possible violations to the Academy's campaign lobbying rules. And although the Woman King was shut out of the Oscars, Viola Davis and her husband Julius have signed a first-look deal with E1 Entertainment. Tony Award winner Adrienne Warren will star in the Broadway American premiere of Room, based on the 2010 novel, which was adapted into a 2015 play. The WGA nominations and the César nominations dropped, with nominees for Everywhere, Everything, All at Once, The Fabelmans, The Innocents, a surprise lead, followed by Night of the 12th at the César nominations. The Bears' Ayo Edebiri has found a new team to join, as sources tell Deadline. She is boarded Marvel Studios' Thunderbolts. Right off the heels of her Sundance Doc Kavanaugh, director Liz Garbus is set to direct an EP and Untitled Orphan project for Hulu. Willem Dafoe and Robert Eggers eye a reunion on the director's new Nosferatu film at Focus Features. Ava DuVernay's cast is complete with casting, with Niecy Nash joining Anjanou Ellis in the cast. Amy Ryan joins George Clooney and Brad Pitt in the new Apple thriller from John Watts. Penske Media has acquired Dick Clark Productions, the live event company behind the Golden Globes, New Year's Rockin' Eve, AMAs, ACM Awards, and the Billboard Awards. Abbott Elementary star Sheryl Lee Ralph will perform ahead of Rihanna at the Super Bowl, and Giancarlo Esposito joins the cast of Francis Ford Coppola's Megalopolis. Ben Affleck's Air is to receive wide global theatrical release from Amazon Studios. Oscar winner Rami Malek is going to star as Buster Keaton in a limited series from Matt Reeves that is in the works at Warner Brothers TV. Star Trek Discovery star Anthony Rapp, who accused Kevin Spacey of making unwanted sexual advances, is prepping a docuseries about abuse in Hollywood. Antoine Fuqua, the man who shot such films as The Equalizer Shooter and The Magnificent Seven, is now tapped to do an untitled Michael film produced by Graham King. In other news, the most nominated person alive for the Oscars is John Williams, who was nominated for scoring The Fabelmans, and my boy Austin Butler got that Oscar nomination for Elvis. I told y'all it was about to go down, didn't I tell you? Those Oscar nominations dropped, and baby, Everything Everywhere All at Once swept the nomination categories. OG Michelle Yeoh is the first Asian American to be nominated for a Best Actress nomination at the Oscars for Everything Everywhere All at Once. This kind of attention hasn't been paid to an Asian actress since Meryl Oberon back in the day. In other Oscar news, Best Supporting Actress is a full-on slam category filled with some of my favorites, including Miss Angela Bassett, who is nominated for Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, Miss Jamie Lee Curtis, Carrie Condon, and my girl Stephanie Hsu has been nominated for her role in Everything Everywhere All at Once. And I love Stephanie because she's a Broadway baby from SpongeBob SquarePants on Broadway, and another overlooked actress, Hong Chow, has been nominated for The Whale. Ki Wan Kwan is nominated for Everything Everywhere All at Once after 40 years in the industry. And you know, I loved Mrs. Harris Go to Paris, so I was elated that Jenny Bevan got an Oscar nomination, as well as the nicest man in show business, Guillermo del Toro, for his animated feature, Pinocchio. The Golden Globes went down where they celebrated Eddie Murphy with the Cecil B. DeMille Award, and Ryan Murphy was given an award as well, where he paid homage to everyone but himself. I also went to the Critics' Choice Awards, where I, did my thing. So that's my look from that. And sat with the ladies of Wakanda, two of which are nominated for Oscars this past week. Then I made my way to the Sundance Film Festival, baby, where I saw a total of over 15 films. I did some interviews for the Cherry Picks with the cast of Young, Wild, and Free. I made my way over to the Latin X house and supported my girl Olga Segura. I saw Little Richard, I saw Cassandra, I saw Fairyland, and so much more. Stay tuned for all things Sundance, the 1619 Project, and you people. That's it for this week's Around the Curve. That was a lot, right? I know it was. So I'm not going to waste any more time. Let's get right into it and talk about these films I saw at Sundance. Like I said, I saw over 15 of them, but these are some of my favorites. This film, All Dirt Roads Taste of Salt, was one of my favorites. It was cinematically just absolutely stunning. It was the directorial debut of Raven Jackson, who wrote and directed the film. It also has Sheila Atim in it from The Woman King and many other projects, who's a fantabulous actress. And it basically deals with it's like a cinematic journey of generations through sight and sound. It is a gorgeous film with very minimal dialogue. I talked about before I was leaving that I was going to see Little Richard, I Am Everything, and this documentary was everything. Directed by Lisa Cortez, who also had another film at the festival called Invisible Beauty, which she co-produced, about activist and model Beth Ann Hardison. If you remember that name, Hardison, she is Kadeem Hardison from A Different World's mom. At any rate, back to Little Richard. It's not your usual documentary. It's like attending a church service led by Little Richard. And Little Richard paved the way for so many artists like Prince, Michael Jackson, David Bowie, Annie Lennox, Billy Porter, and so much more. I had the pleasure of meeting Nikki Giovanni at the AFI Docs Festival about 4 or 5 years ago, when a friend of mine, Melissa Hayslip, was premiering her documentary, Mr. Soul. And I asked Nikki Giovanni about this clip of her and James Baldwin. How long did it take? How long was that conversation? She told me that conversation took place over 2 days in Paris. I was so fascinated. I would have loved to have sat down and just talked to her about that. But that is one of the clips that you will see in Going to Mars, the Nikki Giovanni project, which is her homage to space travel, time travel, and Black women. It won a Sundance Jury Award over the weekend, and this is the last day for Sundance. So if you are so inclined on the East Coast, the Central Time Zone, Mountain Time Zone, or the East Coast time zone, which you have very little time left, go to www.sundance.org, click on the festival link, and you can watch some of these films that I'm talking about for $20 in your own home. Another film that I saw, The Eternal Memory, gorgeous, gorgeous film. It was directed by Maid Alberdi, and it deals with Augusto Gongora and his wife, Paulina or Polly. He is an award-winning, very well-respected Chilean journalist who is in the battle of his life with Alzheimer's. This film will break your heart, but it'll make it sing all at the same time, as you see how their love for one another helps them both get through this very difficult journey. The Persian version, after seeing so many deep and dark films, I was so excited to see something funny. This is like that film Knocked Up, but the Persian version, no pun intended, that tells a generational tale of a mother with a twist at the end that you don't quite see coming. I loved this film. I loved that it was a film full of Persian and ethnic actors. I'm always down for those. Speaking of ethnic actors, another one of my all-time favorite films from the festival was 1001. It is a breakout starring role for Tiana Taylor, who plays a mother who kidnaps her son from foster care, and it deals with how they protect one another and how strong that mother and son bond really, really is. I also talked about this film, Sometimes I Think About Dying. Star turn for Daisy Ridley here. Three-quarters of this film is no dialogue. I love films like that because it makes you pay attention to what's going on. But she is crushing it in this film. So that is it for Sundance. Let me just reiterate: All Dirt Roads Taste of Salt, Little Richard, I Am Everything, Going to Mars, and Nikki Giovanni Project, The Eternal Memory, the Persian Version, and 1001. And sometimes I think about dying. Now, I came back from Sundance and went right into seeing this film right here, the 1619 Project. Now, the 1619 Project is streaming on Hulu right now. It's directed by New York Times journalist Nicole Hannah Jones. It reframes our history, the United States history, by placing the consequences of slavery on the contributions of Black Americans at the center of our national narrative. It's broken into 6 episodes based on essays by Jones herself. It is a deep, deep film. It will have you it'll have you looking cross-eyed and thinking twice. But the episodes are broken up into democracy, race, music, capitalism, fear, and justice in that order. It's produced by Oprah Winfrey's Harpo Productions, Roger Ross Williams, who also had a film at Sundance um, called Cassandro, about this lucha libre wrestler who was all in makeup. He's a trans sexual person, and I just I just loved it. This Sundance was a full circle moment for me because I did an interview with Lisa Cortez and Roger Ross Williams a few years ago for their documentary that they did together, Apollo. And Liz Garbus was one of the first directors I interviewed on the ground at Sundance. She had, like I said, in Around the Curve, a documentary about Brett Kavanaugh, and now she's got some other things going on. So it was so nice to see the people that I've met and watched their careers flourish over the years. We were all there at Sundance in very different capacities this time, celebrating one another. It was really great. But the 1619 Project is streaming on Hulu right now. It's 6 episodes. There's 2 episodes up right now, and you'll be able to see the other ones, I guess, in a weekly fashion. They don't run them all out at the same time. All right, let's talk about You People. And I have a little bit of a cold, so my apologies. I sound a little scruffy. I'm trying not to blow my nose on screen, but I may have to go get a tissue at some point. Anyway, You People stars Eddie Murphy, who I love, 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 as you know. Um, and it's the featured directorial debut of Kenya Barris. And Kenya is getting a lot of flack for this film because people are saying, oh, why he always writing about interracial couples? Well, boyfriend is writing what he knows. He's in an interracial relationship. And I'm sure that these things that he's writing about are things that he has encountered in the course of his life. He and Jonah Hill coupled up and wrote that script. And child, when I tell you I laughed out loud, I hollered. The film also stars Nia Long, Lauren London, Jonah Hill, David Duchovny, and Julia Louis-Dreyfus, who steals the film from everybody. She makes the film worth watching, along with the humorous writings of Jonah Hill, as they tackle unapologetically interracial relationships. The film is about a new couple and their families who are reckoning with the modern love amid culture clashes, societal expectations, and generational differences. That is what the film is about. It's fucking funny. Okay. I'm just saying it's funny. Check it out. Don't listen to what everybody says. Sometimes you just gotta go against the norm and watch it for yourself. Okay. So Watch You People is streaming on Netflix right now. Something else that's also streaming right now is a film with J Lo. Y'all know I love me some J Lo. She has a film streaming on Prime Video called Shotgun Wedding. It's directed by a friend of mine named Jason Moore, who directed me in Avenue Q for the first national tour. So I'm a big fan of his and so proud that he has transitioned into film from the stage. But this film stars two Jennifers, J Lo and Jennifer Coolidge, who has been the awards darling this season with her role in The White Lotus. Cheech Marin is in this film, and OG Latina Sonia Braga, Lenny Kravitz, and Josh Duhamel. Let me just say, it's a typical rom-com. There's no surprises here. There's some crazy stuff in the script happening. It's a little long. There's some tropes rather, like them in a pool, sitting around in a pool while they're being held hostage. And all I can think about is their legs and toes and fingers must be shriveled among other extremities. Yeah, I said that. There's some zip lining going on. I'm like, did we really need to see zip lining with a wig? I don't know. You'll see. I'm not even gonna tell you. But the best part about this film for me was the end credits with the karaoke. Watch it all the way through just so that you can see the karaoke in the end credits. It's crazy. And at the end of the day,
J-Lo fans like me, we not gonna care whether the film is good or not. We just want to see J-Lo. Just saying. So there's that. Um, I also wanted to tell you guys that Wakanda Forever is going to be streaming on Disney Plus on February 1st. It's coming to the streaming platforms only on Disney Plus on February 1st. So that is it for this edition of the Curvy Critic with Carla Renata. I know it was quick, right? I'm trying to make these quick and painless and get them over with so y'all ain't trying to watch me all day long. Hey, Sonia Lockett, you howled through the whole thing. I know it's funny, right? And when we talk about we howled through the whole thing, we talking about you people. It was freaking funny. I'm just saying. And thank you, Sonia, for watching me and popping in and giving me a comment. Appreciate you. So yeah, let me just recap what I talked about so that you guys know what the hell is going on. Again, the Sundance Film Festivals that you can catch right now for a limited time until midnight are Alder well, actually, you can't catch All Dirt Roads, but you can catch the award-winning films like Nikki Giovanni's Going to Mars, the Nikki Giovanni Project. You can catch The Eternal Memory. You can catch the Persian version. And streaming right now on Netflix is You People, and on Prime Video, Shotgun Wedding, and beginning February 1st, in just a few days, streaming only on Disney Plus, is Wakanda Forever. So when I come back next week, I'm going to talk about 80 for Brady. I'm going to talk about this new Bill Russell doc called Legend. And I'm going to talk about another documentary called Stolen Youth Inside the Cult of Sarah Lawrence, which will premiere on Hulu on February 9th. So, you guys, I know that was fast and furious. I'm trying to condense stuff, make it a little shorter for you, so you ain't trying to spend all of your Sunday watching me run my mouth. And I got this on because I'm sick. I got a little cold situation happening, but I hope you are having a wonderful week. I hope this week going into February is going to be a great one. I'll also be back with some Black History stuff when I come back next week. And yeah, so that's it. So again, if this is your first time joining me, give me a big thumbs up to let me know that you were here. Click that bell for notifications so you don't miss anything. I'm going to have some interviews coming up and some live things coming up for you guys to enjoy, live interviews for you guys to enjoy coming up, which might possibly take up a whole session. But thank you so much for tuning in. I so appreciate you. I also want to tell you that in the next couple of weeks, in addition to what I've already mentioned, I'm going to have reviews of Magic Mike's Last Dance, Titanic. Oops, sorry. Something was on my computer. Titanic's 25th anniversary. We're going to talk about some Valentine's Day chick flicks and Juniper. So that's just a preview of what's to come. Thank y'all for joining me. I love you so much. Be safe out there, y'all. It's flu season, clearly, because I'm sick. And I don't have COVID because I took COVID tests every day since I got back from Sundance, and they've all come back negative. I just have a horrible head cold. But wash your hands, stay safe, have the most wonderful week you possibly can, and be positive and know that we get one life, y'all. Take advantage of it. Have a good time. There's little to complain about. If you woke up breathing this morning, you shouldn't have nothing to complain about. I'm just saying. So I'm gonna run and go get me some tea. And hopefully, y'all enjoyed the broadcast. And just know that this is a read link of the one I tried to do earlier because there was double music going on and everything. I don't know what was happening. But anywho, stay tuned. Join me next week. I have flipped back to Sundays, so I will not be broadcasting on Monday evenings anymore. I will only be broadcasting on Sundays. Next Sunday, I will be trying my best to go live at 5 o'clock with little to no technical difficulty. So until the next time, love, peace, and hair grease, y'all. Deuces, and I will see y'all on the flip side. Bye now.